Thank you for being here. Tonight begins in Kaduna State, where the Northern State Governors Forum and the Northern Traditional Rulers Council warned that the region may lose its future to escalating terrorism and deepening poverty unless there is urgent constitutional changes. The leaders gave the warning on Monday at an emergency joint meeting held at the Sir Kashim Ibrahim House in Kaduna. The high-level parley, which convenes the 19 governors, the traditional rulers led by Sultan of Sokoto, Sir Abubakar, and security chiefs, was described as a definitive push to harmonize responses to the banditry and social decay bedeviling the region. Chairman of the Governors Forum, Inuwa Yahaya, painted a sobering picture of the current state of the North, noting that the region is currently battling a grim reality of insecurity and poverty that threatens to destroy its social fabric. News Central's correspondent Emmanuel Bagudu was at the gathering, and he joins me now to provide a situation report. Thank you very much, Bagudu, for being here. It was not just a meeting of governors, but also of traditional rulers. Can you tell us about the resolutions by the leaders to end this scourge of insecurity in that region?
Yes, thank you very much. A very significant resolution. Of course, they are not mincing words about their resolutions. They are saying that, of course, they want a security system that is non-elitist. They are trying to say that they don't want a federally controlled security system. Even if it has to be a federally controlled system, it has to be localized. They want a central theater command in northern Nigeria. They want state policing, and then they want a situation where security is not just going to be an issue of that things have changed. Life has changed. There's development in every facet of life, and we cannot continue doing things the way we do before. So what they are saying is they want security to be as localized as possible. They want a centralized theater command, and they want state policing. That is what they are saying. And then Abubakar Saad, that's the Sultan of Sokoto, was bold enough to speak to the governors that they should listen to critics. That whoever speaks to them about insecurity, it's not about issue of politics, whether you belong to a party or you don't belong to a political ruling party or an opposition party. You should listen to critics. And then it's not an issue of, it's an issue of life, and there is an issue of citizens' welfare. It's an issue of Nigeria's future. And if all these things are not being considered, that the northern Nigeria, which is actually which has the highest population in the country, will have to settle for less. They will have to face an existential threat. In his words, existential threat. In other words, the region is on the brink of collapsing, is on the brink of anarchy and all of that. If all these are not considered, yeah.
I want to pick specifically on state policing. That conversation has been on the table for a while. How strong of a conviction did you see among the leaders to push for its actualization, to remove it from the rhetoric and make it a reality?
Yes, in this particular case, they are speaking of state policing not the way people are thinking about it, because from their body language, they are speaking on state policing in terms of localization. They are not saying that every governor has a power to just go and they are talking about, if there has to be a state policing, it has to be something that is communicating to the grassroots directly, not that kind of elitist kind of thing that is that's happening and has not been working. They are saying that state policing, yes, but state policing based on the issues of that particular state. What we have in Zamfara is different from what we have in Kaduna. What we have in Kano and Jigawa have distinguished themselves from insecurity for a very long time. If no thanks to the recent alleged bandit incursion from Kaduna, they have not experienced any terrorism before, which means they have their own specific issues. So they are saying that state policing, but based on what is happening in the state, based on the mentality of the persons in the state, based on the culture of the state. Because if you look at it, we have an issue of we have this state-based religious policing, the Hizbah we've been hearing about. have successfully done a good job in terms of sanitizing some aspects of the northern society. We have seen them work in Zamfara, we have seen them work in Kano. So something similar. That's what
Jack,
they also
please.
relate.
I just want to confirm from you, how do they wish to actualize this? Nigeria is not just the northern region. Yes, they are looking for unique solution with the policing, but there's been a lot of, if you're citing Hizbah, there's been a lot of controversy around how they are going about prosecuting cases and, managing the insecurity in that area. So did they talk about specifics for actualization of the state police that they are envisaging?
Yes, in terms of specifics, their specification is the fact that, yes, it's a state policing, but not just what people think. Anytime they mention this issue of state policing, the first thing that...
No, Emmanuel, we already get that. We already get the definition. You've explained the definition of state police. What I'm asking is, what is the action, or what are the actions that they propose to take towards actualizing state police? Did they make that known?
Yes, they made it known. It's clear. They are going to rally around the lawmakers. They are going to rally around from the state assembly to the national assembly. I spoke to one of the governors who made it clear that they are going to rally around all the lawmakers, a total of 469 lawmakers, 360 from the House of Reps, 109 from the Senate. They are going to rally around them to make sure that there is a legislation that will bring the state police into reality. That's what the governor told me. He said they are going to work around that.
Okay.
And they are governors. Of course, they are very close to their state assembly members, and then they are also close to their federal lawmakers. They are going to rally around them to make sure that
I mean, the definition of state police, like you've clearly stated, could be interpreted at state, region, and decided on. But let's move a bit away from there and ask you about reports that you gave. You reported some stories about allegations of bandit incursion from Katsina to Kano. Was that on an agenda? Was this on the agenda at the meeting?
Yes, it was on agenda. The two governors have made it clear that they have resolved their differences. The two governors have met, and of course, you saw the speech there by Abubakar Sa'ad, the thought. That's talking about Sultan of Sokoto. So you remember the other story we directed at Shannon, the local government, where Emir Sanusi made it clear on public TV that he is going to engage the Emir of Katsina. The emirs were there, the Emir of Katsina, the Emir of Zuru, all of them were all there. All the emirs were engaged traditionally, and the governors also engaged in their according to their office. So they made it clear that the problem has been solved. But that is left for us to track, because I have been in the field, I've gone to communities where they made it clear to me that of course communities are still negotiating with bandits, and they're making disadvantaged communities in trouble. So that issue, yes, the governors made it clear that they have solved it, but then that is left for us to track and to find out whether it is true or not. But we heard it several times. That we heard it the other time. Mohammed Sanusi II, the Emir of Kano, made it clear that he's going to engage the Emir of Katsina, and then that the governor of Kano is going to engage the governor of Katsina, and they said that they have solved that issue. But of course, yes, just last night there was an alleged attack in Sanyao local government.
All right.
So these are issues that we talk about here.
Emmanuel, thank you for the coverage.
Thank you.